What's up, everybody? It's Gone Turbo here. This is Skyrim Special Edition on Xbox One. And in today's video, I wanted to showcase a little bit more gameplay in my June 2019 load order. I had clips and photos in that video, and I just want to do a little more gameplay. A lot of you ask, do I get crashes? Do I get performance issues? And just to kind of set the record straight, I don't get crashes unless I am switching in and out of mods and I don't do a hard reset. That's really the only time I'll get a crash. Divine Cities was giving me a bit of a problem a while back when I had installed it in my load order, and a lot of you do comment that it does cause problems. Sometimes once NPCs seem to go through their cycle, things work better. So if you are having problems with really any load order and have Divine Cities in your load order, remove it and see if that helps. So just a little bit of a tip there. Performance issues in different places. I mean, obviously, if there's more on the screen that are wooded areas, I get a bit of a slowdown in Riften, of course. But if you have some mods that really fill your screen with graphic improvements around like foliage, like Lush Overhaul can be something that can help your improvement if you're using that. To take that off and you might get some improvement. Grass density sometimes can cause performance issues, but I typically, with this load order, I don't know, I don't get crashes. Anytime that I have downloaded mods that really affect the system in that way with crashes, I don't keep them in my load order. So for example, a long time ago I had like populated roads and populated villages mods, populated caves. Actually, populated caves wasn't too bad, but populated roads and cities were definitely causing problems for me. And I had this weird issue with, it might have been, it wasn't Verdant, it was, oh my gosh, what's the other really great grass mod? I'll think about it in a second. But when I fast traveled, I would crash. And I found out that seemed to be the problem, was that one particular grass mod. Can't even think of it right now. Anyway, so I wanted to just take a stroll into Whiterun here and show off a little bit of this load order in Whiterun. I have since downloaded another mod that I'm trying in this load order, and it is a mod that essentially darkens the LOD, or level of detail, which is the far background of the game. And when I saw it in the menu, I thought, wow, that actually makes some sense, because I always, now that I see this mod out and am trying it, I'm definitely seeing how before the far distant background, the level of detail, the LOD, was just a tad brighter than anything in the foreground. And like the pines were a little bit lighter in the green, coloring. Now it's foggy right now, but and I don't want to change the weather, but it seems to help a little bit. It's subtle, but it does seem to help a little bit. I also believe it darkens up the landscape LOD in the background, so it makes sense to me from my experience with this. So let's head on into Whiterun and see some of the changes this load order makes a little bit more specifically, other than just some of my clips and screenshots. So the guards have these cool shiny helmets for the most part, and you'll see some of the guard outfits changed, hopefully, as well. Let's head on in. I did notice that with some of my previous characters, that some of the the mods don't seem to affect my older game saves. So one of my main characters that I've been playing with for years, with some of the changes, I'm not seeing them take place. So some of the guard armors and some of the other clothing, they're not changing with the new load order. So this is a new character, and I can see the changes happening with this load order. So here we are. So this is Divine Cities, which has an option to toggle on and off some additional foliage and insects and characters. So like random citizens. You can see the shields that change with the armor overhaul, which is huge. It's over 700 megabytes. It's a huge file size. I almost just said I can't fit this into this load order, but I was able to make it work. But the opulent mod within that armor and clothing mod. So, you know, it's a little bit, the robes are a little bit something to be desired. At first I didn't like them, but I've gotten used to it. They're highly detailed. I think they're obviously very nice. The armor and clothing overhaul, in terms of in my load order video, I talked about other pieces of clothing. So like these hats or these hoods, they are more detailed than just Old Kingdom armor. So it affects clothing detail as well. Definitely more detailed. And fashions of the Fourth Era these characters will change outfits each day.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale.
I'm not sure why the guards' clothing aren't different. This is a new character, and before they were different, but I'm not sure what's going on there. A few other things to note with Obsidian Weathers is within the options, I turn on season effects and weaker sunlight I set at 100%. And again, that's my display. Filters I mark as default. And again, with display enhancements, I am increasing saturation twice, contrast twice, I believe, and red tint once. So performance in here is pretty good with all these additional changes. Kind of a gray evening happening. Let's head on to another area. And one of those world map mods that shows all the roads. I've never used a map mod, but wanted to try it out. See, I haven't really gone anywhere with this character. Wanted to create a wizardy kind of character. Of course, he's got armor on, which I'm not wanting to do, but he's supposed to be like this blind wizard that can see things without actually seeing things. So I'm trying to improve, his magic abilities. All right, let's find a place to travel. Maybe we can head to an area where we can stress the system a little bit. I don't know. I want to do a little bit of combat. Maybe a little bit of maybe some snowy areas. I really didn't showcase that in the load order video. Alright, let's check out the sunset. Obsidian Weathers and Seasons. With that Better Skies mod. I mean, Obsidian sunsets always look really good, in my opinion. Sometimes there's, fog lines. I hear it referred to as fog lines. So sometimes the texture of fog can show lines in it sometimes, and sometimes there's like a hexagonal, octagonal pattern in the sky right above eye level. The only mod that really I've seen get rid of that are like Vivid Weathers and Equinoctium. But some of these other lightweight mods like Mythical Ages and Obsidian, sometimes you can see that octagon shape in the sky. So there's no mod that I wish someone would create a just sky and cloud replacer, just so we can get rid of that octagonal shape in the sky. Again, it's not all the time, it's just certain weathers. Alright, let's head somewhere.
Need a ride?
Do I have any money? I don't even know if I guess I got a little bit.
Where do you want to go?
Where shall we go? Let's go to Windhelm. Yeah, let's go to Windhelm and see what happens.
We'll be off.
Climbing back. Ayla. There's a couple of the mods I wanted to show off with some characters.
Hurry it up.
Alright,
Been to Windhelm?
let's go to
Oldest city in Skyrim by some account.
Windhelm.
They say the
See what
big
happens.
palace there was built by you.
Maybe we'll come across some snowy weather. Maybe some I don't know. We'll check out the LOD with this darker LOD mod happening. A couple other important things to note that I've had videos on and have mentioned here and there, but it's so important. If you're not wanting a weather mod like Obsidian and want something different, oh, this looks nice. And you're trying different weather and lighting mods, but also playing with interior mods like ELFX interiors, Divine interiors, ELE interiors. There's all kinds of different interior mods, and some that have come out lately that I've tested, and nothing that really suited me. But if you're messing with display settings, saturation and brightness and contrast and things like that, just be careful that if you're increasing saturation outside because of your weather mod, and have something like ELFX or Divine Interiors that is pretty saturated on the interior anyway, if you're increasing it on the outside, you're going to get it wicked increased on the inside. That should make sense. You know what I mean? Same goes for reducing contrast, so or saturation. So just something to test. I would say find a weather mod that you like, that looks good, like right out of the box, without messing with it at all, and just tweak it a little bit. 8 p.m. here. Alright, I wanted to get a sense of the LOD during the daytime, so I don't know, let's just go ahead to the morning. I'm probably going to be hungry and thirsty because I have I Need activated, which isn't the best mod to have if you're showcasing any videos on YouTube. See, hungry, thirsty, fatigued. I need like 5 apples. All right. I'm sated. Here's a guard with some of the changes in clothing.
Stay away from the Aretino residence. The place is cursed.
Very nice, very nice. $6:30, $7:30. I got like a Bridges of Skyrim mod. Pretty cool. Changes all the bridges differently throughout the world. Unique. Hopefully I'm not making you dizzy. Alright, definitely foggy background. We're gonna cheat a little bit. We're gonna go and clear up this weather to see the background. A little darker apparently. Yeah. I think it blends a little bit better with the foreground. Thinking so. You see like the pine trees in the back are a little bit more of the same color as the front. At least it blends a little better. And the ground textures back there are a little bit more blending with the front. I'm thinking yeah. So this is the snowy area of the world with this load order. And Nordic snow, still my fave. So one of the things I was mentioning in the last video about Obsidian that I don't know if it made sense, but I like the look of different weathers that this mod provides and different lighting scenarios. I think there's more better looking variations than other weather mods. So a clear day like this with Obsidian, I think looks better than a Mythical Ages clear day. An evening fog looks better with Obsidian than other weather mods. There's just more better looking weathers overall, a higher percentage of better weathers and better looks to the game than other weather mods. Maybe that's the better way to say it. I'm more satisfied with different weather scenarios than other weather mods. So, like Mythical Ages, I really like certain variations of the sunsets. But there's more weather scenarios that I don't like compared to Obsidian. So I'm defaulting more to Obsidian because it's got more that I like within those variations. Does that make sense? So I don't believe that there's a perfect weather mod. Because there'll be a type of weather where I'm like, oh, this is weird. There'll be a type of weather where I'm like, ugh, I don't like the look of that. There's something in every weather mod that I don't like. But Obsidian has the most that I do like. If that makes sense. So. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of gameplay with some adventure here. Why don't we head into a cave or something? See some interior. I try to I think about these grass and landscapes. It's hard to find. Well, not hard for me. I was gonna say it's hard to find really good like overall landscape mod. They're all good, but sometimes it depends on what you like. I go for what I try to find that when it comes to like rustic lands. I like the look. The coloring is pleasing to me. It's not too plain, and there's more detail, like these stones, or this ground texture here. It's more detailed than other landscape mods, in my opinion, and the quality is of higher resolution. There are some landscape mods that the quality is not as sharp, is not as detailed as others. You know what? Let's head on over to this dragon, see if it's even there. Because I have a mod, dragons at the start. I'm not seeing anything flying around. Wonder if it's because I haven't even. Well, I have the mod dragons at the start. I think it's there. Oh my god! All right, you might get destroyed. Let's do a little. Oh, I'm a tough wizard. Level 1. Let's fight a dragon. Let me do that. See what we can do. Oh, I've been spotted. What are we gonna do? This is not gonna work. I have nothing. Oh, fire versus fire. I'm dead. I'm dead. Run away! That was nothing. I'm gone. Well, that's how it works in Skyrim, folks. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about my LOD order, talk about some mods, and show some gameplay in action. So I appreciate everything. Feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos. I'm trying to get back to folks with questions and comments. So stick around for more Skyrim and other gaming videos. This has been Gone Turbo. I'll talk to you again soon.